Hello and welcome to That Happens, the only podcast hosted by Kevin and the Spleen. That's right, folks, we got kicked out of the stomach, if you wouldn't believe that. And we gotta go solo and not on our terms, baby, but we're making the terms ours in this, the new year. That's right, folks. Kevin, do you want to tell them what happened?
Oh, so much has happened. We got kicked out. I don't know why. We're still waiting for a response from HR, but it was
don't know
Spencer
why.
did. Well, it was something Spencer said, I think.
Spencer? Who's Spencer? I'm only the spleen, and the spleen can't be punished for the actions of Spencer, baby. Those are entirely two persons, and that's what my psychologist will testify to.
This feels like some kind of like sovereign citizen courtroom kind of thing of like, the person and the entity are not the same kind of, argument.
Well, can any of us be anything if you really think about it? And this is what my philosopher will testify to in court, baby. Oh, yeah, if you would call him my philosopher and not yet another persona of my...
How many do you have in there?
Oh, boy, I don't even want to talk about it. I think that could be incriminating evidence, baby. But let's just say it's like split up in here. That's right, folks. Oh, yeah. I guess maybe I should just read the email they sent. It says, "Hello, I hope you're doing well after what happened. As of now, you are being terminated for the following complaints. Number 1, smoking indoors. Number 2, smoking in the house. Asterisk." Gonna scroll down to the bottom here. It says asterisk. "The house of your HR manager after you broke in through the window. Number 3, breaking and entering. Number 4, entering and then breaking. Number 5, my priceless vase collection. Number 6, riding a motorcycle in the parking lot. Number 7, that one's just illegal. I don't know why. That wasn't our law. Number 8, calling the police on me. Number 9, punching out the police once they said there was nothing they could do. Number 10, getting arrested for punching out the police. Number 11, using the company car to post bail. Number 12, eating the company card." So, I gotta be honest, Kevin. I do not remember any of that.
This seems like something that would just sort of blow over if we ignore it. I don't think this is serious.
Number 13, telling the manager to go fuck himself and that this would all blow over soon. Huh. Number 14, the rest will be in the following email. We haven't gotten that email yet, but and also that's not exactly number 14. That's not like a complaint. That's more of like explaining. It's like an explaining thing. That should have been like another asterisk. Have you seen those asterisks? They're like, it's like a cross, but the bottom is also a cross. What's the deal with that?
I don't know, that feels old fashioned to me. Like before there was like an asterisk, like the cross was like the more likely key on your keyboard or something.
It's apparently called the double dagger or deasis.
I like that.
It's a typographical symbol that can be used for footnotes, apparently. But yep, so this is the new home. I don't know if we could call it, maybe not the stomach, maybe the colostomy bag is our new home base, baby, where we're doing Kevin and the Spleen, and that happens. That's right, folks. In the new year, it's a new me. That's actually, here's how it works, Kevin. I'm 35-year-old, and every new year there's a new me that develops inside the core shell. It's kind of like a Matryoshka doll situation of personalities. It's a very complex arrangement of egos and superegos and egos, the waffles.
This sounds delicious, actually. I'm in favor. Okay. Yeah,
You're in favor.
I am. I like where this is heading.
I'm glad that you're in favor of the tangled construct of my psyche, because if you weren't, that'd be a huge problem, because we are in it to win it, baby. We're the co-hostess with the mo-hostess. That's right, I got more Twinkies.
Okay, all right. I like this new direction we're taking this.
Yeah, and of course, Kevin is laughing, and it's getting cut out of the audio in case you were wondering. He is enjoying the show. And if you want to see him, actually, I don't know if the camera's going to be on him, but hypothetically, if you were to want to see him, you would do that on the video at thathappens.com. But there's video episodes going out on Spotify. That's right. We're advertising on Spotify now. Ooh, baby. And you know we're not advertising non-alcoholic beverages, baby, because they said we can't.
It's the strangest rule. Yeah, we're prohibited from advertising non-alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic is fine. Everything else is okay. Spotify says we can't promote non-alcoholic beverages through them.
Yeah, it's complicated because I can promote Heineken Zero, which contains no alcohol, but it's technically still an alcoholic beverage, you know? It's like under that umbrella category, if you know what I'm talking about. And have you seen the Umbrella Academy, Kevin, on Netflix?
I have not, but that's something I would love to watch.
It's based on a graphic novel by, I want to say, Gerard Way. Let me see. Just bear with me while I type something up on this computer. I'm cussing out our HR director right now.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's written and created by Gerard Way. I don't know how to pronounce his name, baby. Oh, yeah. So, what do you think? You think we should get to news?
Yeah, I think it's news time.
Oh, baby. At time of writing, a fucking Cybertruck exploded. I think it was another Cybertruck exploded, too. There's been Cybertrucks exploding all over the place, baby. And who, boy, you don't know what's going to happen next. I'll tell you what, Kevin. I did not have that on my 2025 bingo card. Haha, that's right. I don't know when this episode's going to drop, but right now it's the 1st. It's the 1st of January. And it's the first time you've heard that joke. Not on my bingo card, baby. Oh, yeah. So it's time to reveal what our 2025 bingo cards are, Kevin.
Okay. I'm kind of feeling that, like, before the inauguration, Trump and Musk are going to have a public blowout.
Okay, that gives you, it probably is going to have happened or not by the time this episode comes out, I think, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. There's nothing like talking about like breaking news and timely politics like at least a week before this is going to air. So yeah, play along, guys.
Well, I'm going out of town, baby, for a couple of weeks because I have to pay a visit to someone very special. You know, I'm talking about the HR manager who has gone into the witness protection program, baby. I think that's number 15 on the list. Oh yeah, but we're gonna figure things out, man to man. You know, like gentlemen, in the sense that we're gonna duel with guns.
All right.
Oh yeah. Got any more
on your bingo
predictions?
card?
Okay, well let's go round for round. Let's trade off. My prediction in 2025, they will invent a new form of cellular technology that makes your brain go even crazier. They're gonna call it 6G, baby.
6G. Okay, how does that differ from 5G? It just for more crazy.
Well, it conducts signal from the spike proteins in our blood that, of course, have been given to us by the vaccine, which is why I've always been in favor of the vaccine because you know I need that signal to get on my TikTok, baby. Another item on my list is I think TikTok is not going to get banned. That's just a guess.
I would agree with that. I think this is a lot of posturing. I don't think we're going to start banning individual apps.
I don't think it's a lot of posturing. I just think everyone's a fucking dipshit and no one is doing anything for any goddamn reason. So there's no reason to stick to something just because at one point you definitely decided you really absolutely had to do it.
That's also probably equally true. Yeah.
But who knows? That's just what's on my bingo card. You know, people like to say that wasn't on my bingo card, just like the Cybertrucks thing. But all this stuff is going to be on my bingo card. So when any of this stuff happens, we can say it was on our bingo cards.
I mean, that's smart by putting the most likely things on your bingo card or things that have already happened. Yeah. I think you're going to win.
I'm just pissed that I didn't put the Cybertruck thing on my bingo card. I was definitely going to, but I didn't get to my bookie in time. That's right, folks. There's a bookie who controls the 2025 bingo cards. That's where you get them from. What else we got? On my 2025 bingo card, I think stocks are going to crash. I think the stock market's going to, not like crash, but some big shit's going to go down and it's going to be crazy. And then they'll recover. And then people will be like, the stocks are higher than they've ever been before. And it's like, yeah, because all this shit's fake. It's all fake.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that's sort of counterintuitive is that stock prices go up when there's inflation, which is bad usually. So
Right.
if we have some runaway inflation, yeah, the stock market might not crash or it might recover very quickly, but that's just due to inflation, not actual growth.
Right. It almost makes it sound if someone says that the stock markets are higher than ever, and that includes inflation, it's almost like, yeah, no fucking shit, buddy. Like that's just what's going to happen. That's what inflation means is prices go up. And it's also a thing whenever you see companies going like, oh, we made more money this year than ever. It's like, oh, you made within a solid margin of the same fucking amount of money you made last year, and then it was adjusted for inflation, and you're patting yourself on the back for accomplishing that like you fucking did anything, you fucking dipshits. Just because you didn't stick your dick in a goddamn power socket, that means you're doing good at your business job. Yeah, real cool, guys. Who knows? What else? What's next on your bingo card?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there's a decent chance of another pandemic that's not quite as bad as COVID, but like we're going to have another, flu variant or something like that that's going to actually affect the world a little bit.
You thinking the bird flu or something else entirely, baby?
Most likely bird flu. I'd say that's probably where it's going to happen, but I'm open to ideas. I read something interesting today about how that like we should just like buy out every mink farm and close them because mink are incredible vectors for disease that can easily pass to humans. And like the entire industry is only worth like $25 million. So if we just like bought out every mink farm and just shut that whole industry down, we would be like overall way ahead because of the number of people that get sick due to minks anyway.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Let's just buy it all out. Can't think of another thing we can do with $25 million other than buy the Spleen a new stomach, baby. That's right. We broadcasting from the colostomy bag today. Haha. Let's go to the phones. It looks like Chris has a 2025 prediction. He says Trump has a heart attack or a stroke. Is that going to be on your bingo card?
No, I would say probably not this year. I mean, I think as time goes on, it's more likely, but I think since the pressure's off, if that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. But closer towards the end of his term, I would say it's more likely.
Chris goes on to say Elon assassination attempt. I guess that's on my bingo card. I think, I don't know. And I don't even think it's going to be from the left. I think, he's getting people mad at him. Oh man, that guy's a fucking loser. Adrian Dittman's in the news again. Have you heard this? Have you seen about this?
I have. This is one of the more fascinating Elon trivia pieces here, where it's just so obviously Elon and he doesn't think anyone can tell.
I think, haven't we gone back and forth on this? I think we've taken different positions at varying times. So we thought maybe it was and maybe it wasn't, but I don't know. Just like there was a recent tweet that was like, it's going to be so cool when people are reporting on Elon and they're going to have to say Kekimus Maximus or whatever the fuck. Crying, laughing emoji. And then Elon retweeted it, but just the base tweet itself. I looked at that and I was like, this is the single most compelling piece of evidence that this is the same person. It's like, that's the tackiest fucking tweet anyone could possibly write. There's not a single, I think every poster has a tackiness filter or a tackiness signature, not unlike a thumbprint, baby. And it pervades everything they post. And I think the exact Elon Musk tackiness signature can be found all throughout that one tweet. It's the most tragic tweet ever written on the planet. And this is from a guy who made an alt account as a baby and made weird tweets about like fantasizing about sex or something, I want to say, as a baby. Oh no, that's that's no good. And this is, to me, reads as sadder than that. So I just think, I mean, obviously, I think to propel yourself into such extremes of society, you got to be somewhat fucked up. But to think that the richest man in the world is like easily the biggest loser on the fucking planet is like, wow, it is. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I personally, I think Trump's a loser too. Like, I think these people, like, they kind of just go outward because they can't handle it. And boy, howdy. But that's flame on the fire up to fucking Cybertruck to explosion, I guess.
Yeah. No, I went back and forth about if Adrian was him too. And then I heard one of the spaces, like the live audio chat things. And it just sounds so much like Elon. And I guess at one point he slipped up and said I instead of he or something. And so I
imagine he's signing up for that gambit. I'm going to prove it's not me by doing it so well and fucking fumbling that. Like, at the very least, you gotta, what? You know, if you weren't a complete fucking, here's the thing. I've been on the record that this guy is not smart at all. But if that's your gambit, what you do is you record as Dittman and you fucking proofread it. And then you time your shit around it. Or like get someone with the soundboard to like press the cues in order. And you have it like pre-planned. And you play yourself. So you don't, for instance, say I when you're trying to be the other person. Like you pre-plan it, you pre-record it, you proofread it. So that's not happening. Hey, that happens. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. I mean, I've become so wary of saying I believe in anything because I don't know why, but I don't want to be proven wrong. Not that anyone fucking cares. I would love to believe that someone is fucking tracking me being right or wrong about things, but I don't want to be like, oh, it's totally fake, and only to find out. People are saying online, oh, they should get Elon and Adrian Dittman in the same room together. It's like, well, I'll do you one better. Get Adrian Dittman into a fucking room because he's the fucking guy. Like, it's not, you don't have to like, it's not, you're not going to get Adrian Dittman in the room. He's some guy with a big beard and a mustache. That's not what's going to happen. Like, you'll find out pretty quick what's going on. But
I would love if just Elon came out with like an obviously fake mustache and glasses or something and just was like, yeah, I'm Adrian.
And then he kisses Elmer Fudd. That seems like something that would happen.
Yeah.
What else is Chris predicting? JD Vance gets stabbed in the hand. Biden starts a podcast. Taco Bell gets canceled for something stupid. 1940s fashion makes a comeback. I don't know what 1940s fashion is, but I'd have to look at it. All of these seem credible. What do you think Taco Bell's going to get canceled for? Probably pronouns.
I don't know. If anything, I would say like going to be another like salmonella scare or something. Not anything like intentional, like PR disaster kind of thing, but more of a, nobody eat there because people got sick kind of thing. I don't know.
I think Baja Blast is going to go woke. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
I predict Mountain Dew Summer Freeze is coming back this year. That's on my bingo card. You got anything else on your bingo card, Kevin?
Well, we were just talking sort of related about that I kind of think like the golden era of crazy drinks is over now. I think we're done. Like I'm sure Mountain Dew is going to have other summer flavor or something, but I think the like mad dash of like it seemed like every month, every drink company had some new special limited edition thing. I think that's over now.
I think it's slowing down. I think they'll still kind of do it. There is a market for just novelty, and I think they can put budget into novelty, but I think they've hit diminishing returns, and so they don't want to push so hard in that space. I saw Dr. Pepper is doing a blackberry Dr. Pepper pretty soon, so that's still in the same vein. I already saw, it's crazy. You could see what they're doing ahead of time in the Mountain Dew labs. You could already see the flavors of Baja they're coming out with. It's like called Baja, like mango lemonade or some shit. I don't know. It doesn't seem super exciting. The thing, soda shelves are getting smaller and smaller, and you just see, like, I've been seeing in my stores, the Mountain Dew's been backed up. It's like there's still like 2 facings of Mountain Dew Voodoo left over in the fucking. It's like it's the next year, and they still got Halloween drinks. There's no game fuel to be found, and I think these places are like, I'm not just gonna get stuck with a bunch of fucking unsellable, out of date sodas. Like, people are on to the next. And Kevin is left to go speak to. It looks like he's being served papers, folks. I don't know who's serving him papers. I can only think this has nothing to do with the incident of the motorcycle and the breaking and entering and the having a good time. But hey, we'll figure it out. That's right, folks. It's me. The Spleen is here. And ooh boy, wait. Something's happening to me. Oh God, it's the change. The change is taking hold of me. Hey, Kevin, it's me, Spencer. What's up? What's been happening? I feel like I just woke up and we're podcasting.
We are, yeah. That's how I like to wake up.
I already told you I have I have 35 hidden personalities nesting inside myself like a Matryoshka doll.
I'd heard that rumor before, and that seems increasingly plausible after today. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what this year brings.
What's on your bingo card?
My bingo card. Hold on. This is it says a Cybertruck is going to blow up outside Trump Tower.
That's ominous.
Yeah. Man, okay. So we probably have put out the Santa Claus episode. The Christmas timing episode. I don't know. But I want to talk more about Luigi's Mansion. I don't have much more to say, but I think there's just a little bit more. One of the things is everyone's really mad about him getting terrorist charges or whatever, and I think they're mad for the right reasons, but the way they're talking about it seems a little bit wrong. But like, here's the deal, folks. Terrorism gets a bad rap. It's not. The thing is, a lot of stuff that has been done all over the place is terrorism, and most of it doesn't get charged. I think probably 30% of the crimes that cops commit that never get charged or anything are verifiably terrorism, just because they have political leanings. I think almost every mass shooting that's happened has been terrorism. Not everyone, but so many of them have been terrorism. They never get charged with terrorism. And, I think the conversation, especially on the time this comes out, the conversation is shifted more to be like, it's not fair that all these people don't get terrorism charges. A fucking truck just ran into a bunch of people. There's no way that's not terrorism. But, it's like people are like, how dare they? It's not terrorism to kill a person. But it's like, well, it is. If he was as politically motivated as he claimed, if you're engraving shit on bullets, then that's terrorism. Well, the problem is we've been so brainwashed. That sounds like a weird word. Against the idea of terrorism, associating it with like radical Islamic terrorism, that we're like, only that's if you don't blow yourself up, then you're not a terrorist. It's like, no, a lot of this stuff is terrorism. It's just, it turns out people agree with a lot more terrorism than they're comfortable admitting to themselves,
Yeah, it feels like kind of we're extra mad at you, legal consequence multiplier.
Like it absolutely is,
and that's all it is.
And you could argue that maybe that's unfair to use terrorism to do that. Maybe that's not what makes a crime worse, right? Maybe it's just bad to kill people or blow things up or do mass shootings, and maybe like the terrorism. I don't know. That's something I struggle with, like the intention behind crimes, because like, I don't know. On some level, the laws exist to like, what do you call it? To make us not do the stuff, right? To punish us, to disincentivize the behavior, right? But like, doesn't that not really work after a point? Like, I think that like with the way that crime and justice in other countries is supposed to be rehabilitative or something, I don't know that that it's worse because you did this, thinking one thing versus the other thing. It's like, it's not societally bad as if you just kill a bunch of people because you hate women. It's like, that's just fine. That's not bad to society. But if you hate, Republicans or Democrats or whatever, that's, oh no. It's like, well, I don't know. Hating women and killing a bunch of people seems like a pretty bad thing, I don't know. But to me, it just is like about damage. Like a life is a life. Like like if I killed someone and I was happy about it, would that make them less dead than if I was sad? If I did it like, the what do they call it? Malice aforethought or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like it's not good for someone to accidentally run someone over in a car, but like, I don't know. I also don't think, I think both of these kinds of people can be rehabilitated, so I don't know. I guess I'm losing a little bit of steam on this. It's just like, it just feels wrong to me that we're going to say like, I can understand what's happening in your heart. And that means this person's death means a little less than this other person's death. I don't know. Like, that just seems like, that doesn't feel like, it feels like we're too far gone already. Like maybe there is a line there, but it feels like we're way over that line. And then we're being like, and now we're saying where the line is. And it's like, yeah, you're way past that line and you have been for a while. I don't know. Whatever. What do you think?
No, I think you're right. I think we shouldn't be punishing people for accidents. And that happens sometimes, like I would be gutted if something happened to someone I care about through somebody's accident, as long as there weren't negligence involved, I don't feel like you should be punished for something that was outside your control, and that does happen sometimes.
I mean, I think, isn't there an argument to be made that almost any accident involves some amount of negligence? Like accidents, I don't know. Like, I think if you don't look and you smash into someone's car, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Who knows?
No,
hey, this year I'm going to be wrong. I'm gonna. That's. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
You're
what are you saying?
right, but I think we have a tendency to like want to find someone to pin the blame on. There isn't always someone to blame. Sometimes just freak accidents happen. The sun shines in your eye at exactly the wrong moment as a car passes between one of the pillars of your view, and you just didn't see them. And it's not through negligence that didn't happen. It was just dumb luck. But we still have to find somebody who's responsible and find somebody to blame. And
maybe you could have cleaned your windshield better or worn sunglasses at the time.
Agreed. And there's always could we have done something better? And there probably is. But I don't think we can always hold society to that level of standards. Like if we had to make everything completely bubble wrap safe, we would never be able to do anything then.
Maybe that would be better. Have we tried that? I don't know that we've tried that.
We should try it.
Yeah, sometimes I think that we let people do too much. Like people are like, I'm going to invent an iPhone. And we're like, okay. And then, 20 years later, society's collapsing. And it's like, maybe we should have not let you invent the iPhone, like there's not really a way. I don't really have like a good solution there, but we should be exploring it. I don't know. We should be exploring not letting people do anything. Authoritarianism, it's not that authoritarianism isn't even that necessarily. I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. Authoritarianism, fascism, who knows? You been watching anything, Kevin?
We're watching The 100, which I know is the most recent up to date show, but we've been
binging on 100.
Okay,
no, this is just
series. Yeah.
97 years after a nuclear war destroyed civilization, 100 juvenile delinquents are sent back to Earth. Okay.
That's fun. This big space station's been orbiting the Earth for a century, and they're like running out of oxygen. They've been running out of everything because the Earth is uninhabitable. And so what they decide to do is, rather than have like this prison colony of 100 people who can't behave themselves, almost entirely of like juveniles, rather than kill them, use one of their like ships to send them to Earth, thinking it's probably uninhabitable still, but since they're, going to die anyway, you might as well send them to Earth to find out, give them a chance.
Sure.
And it turns out, yes, it is inhabitable to some extent, and it kind of follows what happens from there.
How many days do you think Elon Musk spent trying, like, deciding on changing his fucking username? Being like, oh, they're gonna love this. This is gonna be the new thing. Just what a fucking loser. I can't fucking stand it. It's just like that. I don't know. The thing is, they're trying to piss people off, but at the same time, there's a level of which they're just like so infuriating. I always say infuriating in a way that like they don't even know. And that's why everyone hates them. And that's why they're so upset all the time because they just exude like just the worst. Ugh, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. How's the 100? Is it good?
It is pretty good. Yeah. It's, there's a a lot going on with it, and I've missed a couple episodes, but it's it's one of those things that keeps throwing surprises at you in a way that doesn't seem cliched and stupid, and that kind of thing. So a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of adventure. It's a good series. I don't know. I don't remember when it came out. It's kind of old now, but it's worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what are you watching now?
I watched Dan to Dan. I watched all of the first season. Man, it ends. It just like ends in the middle of like, I don't know. I've never seen a season end quite like that. I was talking to Ryan about it, and he was saying that Attack on Titan kind of ends like that. And that's fair. Attack on Titans has a lot of weird season breaks, or it did. But like, it's like starting, I don't know, maybe Demon Slayer has done that too. But it just like, it starts setting up new characters and stuff, and you're like, oh, I wonder where this is going. And it's going like, it just ends, and it's like, check us out, we're coming back in it next season. And it's like, Jesus, this is like such a weird spot to end on. I liked it. It's kind of there's a lot of like, maybe not there's a fair amount of like references to like sexual assault and stuff, and like the aliens are really rapey and stuff, and it's not great, but that's not happening most of the time, I guess. So is that okay? Does that make it fine? But I don't know.
I think so.
It's a pretty good series. What else? I was watching Blue-Eyed Samurai. That was pretty good, but I hate the art style. It's done in this 3D animation art style where they kind of try and make it look not 3D, but it still looks 3D. I don't know. It's a little like Arcane, but a lot cheaper. And I hate that art style. I don't know. I just want anime to look more anime-y. I don't even know if they'd call it anime, but they're definitely going after that kind of audience for sure. But the story was good and stuff. It's about a blue-eyed samurai. She's like a total badass in every direction. She's constantly getting like so fucked up and then is just completely fine. Like she gets her like ankle slashed or stabbed or something, and she's like limping around, and then she like goes in the water, like cold water, and then she's like fine, and now she can walk fine. And it's like, this is crazy. I don't know. I get that, but I feel like there's placements for injuries that you need to keep in mind if you want them to like really keep going. I think they want to have the oh man, she took such a grievous injury, how's she going to deal with this? And then it's like, well, she just acts uninjured and it's fine. And it's like, well, that's not really selling the drama you're kind of trying to claim. I don't know. You watch Squid Game? Do you watch the first season of Squid Game?
I watched the first season, haven't watched anything. Yeah, the new one, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by the time this comes out, maybe more people will watch it, but I still don't want to go to like too spoilery. But I don't know. I didn't like it that much. I think by the end, it kind of came back a little bit, but the beginning was just really slow and unappealing. Like, I don't know. It kind of feels like they were just rehashing stuff again. It's like, oh, they're finding the guy who plays the game. What's it called? Dokji or Jokti or something? Jockey with the beanbags or whatever. They find that guy and he's like, oh, I have answers for you, except not really. And it's like, yeah, no fucking shit. None of these people fucking know anything. That's the whole point. Like, it's just, I don't know. Everything you're watching, you're kind of just like, yeah. And then it's not going to turn out well. Like, it's not going like, it's not a game where everyone survives. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it feels like in the first season, I don't even know if there was a bunch of twists and turns in the first season. Who knows? But I feel like this season, you're just like, I know everything that's going to happen. There's slight upsets and surprises, but generally speaking, you're just waiting for analogs to the first season to play out a second time in a slightly different way. And even if they play out slightly differently, we're like, yeah, I figured something like that was going to happen. There's one surprise. There's, without getting too spoilers, there's a character that their appearance is somewhat of a surprise. But once that character shows up, you're like, well, I surely know where this is going to go. I wonder when that will happen. And then it eventually happens, and you're like, yep, that's about what I expected. Like that, the whole season is like that. And in between that, you're just watching a bunch of people getting slaughtered. It feels like very not compelling to be all like, oh, they're playing the fucking stop, go, red light, green light game, and people are getting shot. That's so crazy. And they're spending almost seemingly like about as much time just watching more people get shot. And it's like, wow, this is so morbid. There's so many people getting hurt. Like, it just doesn't feel like there's much about it. Also, I don't know. It feels like they have this new element where they keep voting whether or not they should keep the games going. And I just don't think they sell that idea very well, because the games keep going because people keep voting. And you don't really get the sense that any of these people are like, wow, I understand that everyone who plays this game except one person is going to die. Like, that's not in their minds. And they keep going like, oh, but I need money. But it's like, you don't need money if you're dead. Like, you have so many options of needing money. Like, the idea that this is your only way out, and you've just witnessed like 40 people being shot in the fucking head, and you're like, yes, I'm going to keep pressing the button. It's like, I don't know. The thing is, I get the human ugliness is basically like that. It's probably more realistic than it seems. It just doesn't seem justifiable. I don't know. I think the first season didn't really run into that problem. It felt more like the Stanford experiment or whatever. The Stanford prison experiment is that what it's called. It felt more like that, which is also debunked. But the idea that like, they're in this situation and they're just like struggling for survival. In this, they're not struggling survival. They're choosing death over and over and over. And it's like, well, don't choose that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's just, if I was in the Squid Game, Kevin, it would have gone a little bit differently. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. I see that. I could see you being a survivor.
Yeah. Anyway, what else? Dan to Dan. I watched fucking The Boys, the end of The Boys. The end of The Boys and the end of the Squid Game are both like, it felt like more like a mid-season drop, like cliffhanger where it's like, and then the real stuff's going to happen. And it's like, well, I kind of was expecting like a whole season's worth of story. I don't like telling, whatever. Television's so dire these days, and it's dying, Kevin. There's all these kids, they're not watching television. They're watching their YouTubes, their TikToks, there's Twitches, there's C2s. Do you even know about C2, Kevin? They're kids.
No, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's where all the eyeballs are going, Kevin. And they're not coming back. I don't know. Maybe they will. But it's like 25-year-olds are watching Twitch and stuff too. I don't know that they're going to like hit 30 and be like, it's time to put away childish shit things. I'm going to, watch television news or something. I don't see it happening. And so what's going to happen to the industry? They're just going to like make less television? I don't know. It's a whole mess. Speaking of which, I finished my writing sample script that will hopefully get me a television job. Not that it will, because television is dying and they're only hiring the same people over and over. But I finished my script, or a draft of it. I mean, is a script ever truly finished? But yeah, I'm going to give that to Steve Levy, friend of the show. And he will magically give me a job. I don't think that will happen, but that's what's happening. Do you ever do New Year's resolutions, Kevin?
I used to, and then I deliberately stopped because I feel like they never, like, my life is so chaotic and there's always so much change happening that the situation I'm in at the start of a year is so little to do with where I am at the end of the year that it's like, asking a 5-year-old how you're going to file your taxes when you're 50 or something, it's just not, just does not apply to my life. I don't know. Maybe that's defeatist, but I don't. What about you?
Well, last year I had the resolution to lose a lot of weight, and I did. I lost a lot of
You
weight,
did.
and I'm
Amazing.
getting off. Yeah, I think I could stand to lose another 10 pounds to get back to where I was at my like lowest, but I don't mind being. Right now I'm like at 201, although it'll probably go up a bit tomorrow. But I think 200 is okay. I think I could stand to gain weight if it were like muscle, like I think that would be fine. But, hovering around 200, I think I've tried to mostly stay around here for a couple months, and that's been really hard. Just maintaining. I don't know. It's hard. It's easier to lose weight just because you're like, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to eat miserably. I'm going to eat a whole chicken. But maintaining is like, oh, well, I can have this pizza. And you're like, I shouldn't have had the pizza. It's rough. But yeah. So that was a win. I want to say I had other resolutions, but I listened to a podcast called The Dumbbells, and they talk about, instead of like things you want, more like to focus on systems that can bring you the things you want. So instead of like losing weight, instead like commit to trying to track your calories, because if you do that, that'll help you lose the weight. But it's not being like, oh, if I didn't hit this mark, I'm a failure. It's more like, well, what can I do to track my calories better, And I'm wondering if there's anything like that you could do, or something that's more just like, oh, is there like a more organized way I can, go about my endeavors, as opposed to like, I want to accomplish this per se. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about much.
I like that idea, and I think that's a lot more achievable. I think my problem is I'd set up all these goals, and then the goals would just become irrelevant by the end of the year. I'd feel like I accomplished nothing, so I stopped doing it. And I feel like that is probably a much better way of looking at it than I should probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got some resolutions. What do we got? I want to stay not fat. I want to stay like this. Don't want to become fat, and I want to keep my streaks and my exercising going. I'm in some pain that I've been going to physical therapy and trying to deal with, and I want to get that better. I want to be in less pain and have less injuries. That would be good. I want to what else? I want to finish those D&D videos. I think I finished the third video. And I don't know. I want to say it's like about 10 to 12 video series. And I want to put that out. The thing is that those videos are how to learn D&D 5e, also known as D&D 2014 now. And now there's a whole new edition of D&D out, so it's almost like not even relevant anymore. But I still think it could be valuable. Who knows? And then once I finish those, it'll make it that much easier to figure out how to do the new ones if I decide to do the new ones. But Kevin, you were telling me that I should publish a book about how to learn how to play D&D, and I was telling you, well, there already is a book to learn how to play D&D. It's there's books for playing D&D. But I got a book that I really like. I'm going to talk about it. Hold on. I read most of this book in the Barnes and Noble. It's called The Game Master's Handbook of Proactive Role Playing. And it really spoke to me. I think it has some interesting parallels to The Lazy Dungeon Master. But basically, it's about how to get your players to define goals for themselves and how to build campaigns around those goals that they have, which is something Matthew Mercer has talked about. And it's also something Brennan Lee Mulligan has talked about in various times, about how to, like, your players have their own momentum. So it's better to kind of facilitate that momentum and build with it, as opposed to just kind of like come down and try and enforce your own stuff on them. There's this idea that the book talks about, that like D&D can be very reactive, where I'm like, oh, you're in a dungeon, and then you're playing Kevin and you're like, oh, I'm in a dungeon, what should I do? And that's reactive, right? And then you're going to be like, oh, I go climb up on the ceiling. And I'm like, oh shit, you're climbing up on the ceiling? Oh no, what could it? And so it's like, we're both just reacting to each other. And that has this kind of inertia to it, or lack of momentum to it. Whereas if you start with goals and you build your specifics around those goals, then it's like, well, this happens and that feeds into this goal, so I'm going to go in this direction. It's like, yes, that's already the direction I'm building, and that gives me an idea. And so it's more, there's still reactivity to it, but it's anyway, it's so But yeah, I don't know. There's ways. So there are books on how to play D&D, but the real truth is I don't play a lot of D&D, so I'm not good at it. And people just assume that I'm good at it. But I don't know. We want to start that D&D podcast. I don't know. That D&D thing. I talked about it in that other episode. So that's, I guess, a resolution. Here's a resolution. Get that more popular than this podcast. How do you like that? That could be a good goal. I want to finish 2 scripts. I think it would be good to. I think I finished 1 script on my own, the writing sample last year, and it would be good to do another script and then a whole nother script. That seems like it could be good. I want to try. I tried taking improv classes, but I dropped them. And I want to try and I don't know about improv, but try and do something comedy related, whether that's taking more improv classes or like trying to do open mics or stand up or something, but try and do something more comedy performance-y to try and, get my feet wet back in performing again, because this is not, this is great. Everybody loves this. This is the most popular thing we could be doing, but it's not like this is how people wind down and their careers. It's not how people build and establish themselves, which is hypothetically one of my goals. But I don't know. I got to figure out if I'm good enough for any of this stuff or if I should give up. And I can't do that by doing what I've been doing, which is just kind of like hang back and hope something pops off, because that's not helpful. So those are all kind of, there's specifics, but it's more of a kind of thrust that I want to move in more than it is like, I got to do this, but it kind of is. I don't know.
A lot of your goals seem to center on taking something you're already doing or thinking of or working on and just pushing it further.
Yeah.
Is that a central theme for you?
Yeah, I just feel like I haven't tried very hard, or I haven't been very proactive in that, all this book stuff is like about just kind of like not pursuing your own goals. I got the book The Artist's Way, and I'm trying to follow that a little bit as well, although I'm not doing a good job. But that book's cool. That book is really helpful for Abed, and he's been writing a lot more since he read that book. And so, yeah, I got to do that more. They have concrete steps that you're supposed to do, and I haven't really been doing them because I wake up really early, but I go to work early, and I can figure it out, though. I gotta figure it out. But it'll be good. I am doing stuff. I'm doing stuff that I enjoy, I'm making the anime podcast. We got to do more anime podcasts. That's a resolution, because that feels like it has more momentum than this podcast. Just in the terms of like I'm doing more, like it feels more gratifying. Anyway. Here's a resolution, Kevin. Let you talk more. How about that?
If only I knew what to say. No, you're right. We should. I'm glad you push us to always do an episode every week too, because like lazy me would be like, oh, we can just skip this week sometimes. Not that I don't enjoy doing this, but it's just there's times where I'm like, no one would mind if we skipped a week, and the fact that you keep pushing us, is good.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. That's what's so sad.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
I appreciate the audience. I appreciate you listening. I hope this episode's good. We're doing this episode because I don't want to put out a clip show while I'm gone. I have 2 clip shows loaded up that we could just play, but I've wanted to have like real episodes for you guys to listen to instead of clip shows. But yeah, I should also revamp the Patreon too. Maybe that's another resolution. I think I mentioned in the last one, but I want to start shouting out patrons as opposed to just putting them in the credits. So that's something we'll have to figure out. I'll figure that out. That's easy enough. But revamp the Patreon. Whatever. Oh, maybe I could do tarot readings for, you think anyone would pay me Patreon wise to do tarot readings? That seems
I bet people would for sure.
Tarot readings are already a ripoff, even if you don't personally know the person. So, hey, but yeah, let's see if I could do a quick tarot reading. Kevin, if you're editing this in the future, play the music. Okay. So let me switch my camera. Switch. That's not right. God damn it. I had it set up and then it changed orientation on me. Just like my wife. Just like my wife, Kevin. Is that okay to say? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think that's okay.
Man, I'm going to New York, and it's going to be good, hopefully. And then I'm going to Kentucky, and then that's going to be good, hopefully. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll die. Maybe this episode will come out after I'm dead. Kevin, if I die, you have to release all the episodes that we have in the queue.
Hey, I will. In your memory.
And you have to dig into my computer and find the 2 unreleased clip shows and also play those ones.
Okay.
And you also have to edit new clip shows until we get through all of the episodes and put out all of the clip shows. I think that's only fair.
All right. That as your dying wish, I will achieve that for you.
Yeah. So it's 2025. It's a new year. I set the Fool down to be the significator. I don't even know if that's what it's called. But that's going to be the magical antenna we use. And it's for all of us listening to the podcast. And it's specifically for this new year to see what this year will bring. So, Kevin, put your intention into all of us, this audio community, and put your intention into 2025 as we move forward using superstition and magic. Because let's be honest, Kevin, we're not going to make this on our own. We're going to need to leverage spirits, magic, psychic powers, demons, whatever. Frankenstein's tech. We'll need to leverage Frankenstein's tech to get through this. But yeah. All right. So I think we can trade off cards we should burn. I'll pick some cards to burn and you'll pick some cards to burn.
Okay.
I'm feeling this deck. Okay, getting rid of this one. Burning a whole third of the deck, as I want to do. Gonna give it 3 shuffles. Is there anything you're wondering about what that'll happen this year, Kevin?
Is there going to be a more subdued, peaceful, everyone gets along vibe, or are things going to escalate? Or, I'm just worried about the level of crazy and chaos.
Yeah, I'm worried about the level of violence. Okay. I think there's an argument that's being made that the violence will ratchet up more than Trump's first term, and also an argument to be made that it won't ratchet up as much. I think hypothetically the organized forces might hit the ground running, but the random people might be less inclined, but who knows? Anyway, the first card is the Chariot card. The Chariot card we know very well, Kevin. That's the card that was your significator last time we ran the numbers. Is that what it's called? Running the numbers?
This is a big spreadsheet.
Yeah, but the Chariot is the son of the Emperor and the Empress. It's a privilege card. The Chariot has all the tools they need to move forward. It can be associated with travel. And this is our spirit guide. So harness your energy to move ahead when this card is in the spread. So it's a card of moving forward. The leaves of triumph. The battle has been won. Let's see. That's not good. That sounds like Trump. Let's see. 2 sphinxes, night and day. Remind us of life everlasting. So maybe we won't get a heart attack. Huh? Let's see. Gain more information about what has been hidden. The tide is turning against humanity. If we don't respect our planet, the world will fight back and shoot CEOs in the street. That's interesting, huh? After a spell of hard work, the seeker will reap the rewards. It's been long and tedious, but the effort has paid off. So yeah, pushing through every obstacle. So this is, it's not going to be easy, it looks like, but there can be things to be had. There can be things that are good, Let's see. I'm just looking at the associations. The negative is unpleasant attitude, addictions, unpopularity, ego. This is the reverse. So that all fits, So yeah, it could be good. Who knows? All right. How many cards do you want to burn? I'm going to give the deck a couple shuffles.
3.
But yeah, I think the chair is the spirit guide is like, we can make it through. It can work out, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a whole fucking thing. And isn't that right? I don't know. Professionally, I feel like I did okay when Trump won. It took towards the end of his term for my life to go to shit after he won. And it was very strange. I remember being like, everything politically in the world is so shitty and insane, but like my personal fortunes seem like they're going pretty well, And so that's something I was wondering about. It's like, is that what it's going to be again? All right, burning 3 cards. The past. This is the 10 of Pentacles. This is security. I don't think it's prosperity. Is it just security? It's kind of cool that I remember some of this stuff.
An amazing memory you have.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. That doesn't sound sarcastic at all.
No, I'm serious. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, that's true. Prosperity is on its way, bringing travel, luck, and better pay. Let's see. Idyllic setting, financial security and wealth. Well, there you go. This was in the past, though. Connected to the family in a caring, supportive way that provides for the children. Marriage, living together, financially secure. And this is the past, or maybe if it's this year, it's going to be the beginning of this year. Unearned money, property inheritance that has been handed down the generations. The reverse is trapped with their wealth and want to try to live their life another way. Money and security will be in question. What was taken for granted needs attention. Your job is on the line. Let's see. Problems with pensions. Young family members causing friction. Keeping up with the Joneses. So, yeah, let's just say it'll be okay. I mean, stock markets will go up, huh? I think also this symbol can represent Bitcoin. The 10 of Pentacles could be buy Bitcoin, so that's interesting as well. What if we use tarot to do pump and dump schemes, huh? Could that be interesting?
I'm all behind that. Yes.
Yeah. And don't use this against us in court. All right. Let's go 2 cards. The middle. Ooh, this is the 4 of Cups. Petulance, I believe. 4 of Cups has got this petulant kid kind of sitting under a tree. There's like this cloud is holding out a cup. He's got 3 cups kind of on the ground in front of him. He looks not happy about it. And this cloud is holding him a cup and he's like, no. And so that's why the card represents petulance. I think it's about like dealing with it. What do you want when you have it all? Give thanks for your blessings lest you fall. A man stares moodily into the distance, his back resting on a stout tree that supports him. He's petulant with his lot in life, but does little to change it. His thoughts are stubborn and he refuses to change his attitude. This sounds like it's about fucking us. Not us, but like Democrats. Like, we gotta fucking get over ourselves. And I mostly mean the people in charge, but us as well. Because like, you know what I keep hearing, fucking Kevin? Is all these people being like, all these dinosaurs are in Congress. They keep they shouldn't be allowed to run. And it's like, sure, they shouldn't be allowed to run. But if we can't beat the oldest fucking hip-breaking pieces of shit on the planet, like, that doesn't speak a lot to our political will or the effort we're expending to actually put them out of office. Like, I think we could really be doing more to push against these people. It's not like we're always going to win, but like, they just like healing fantasies. It's such a healing fantasy to have someone swoop in and ban these people from running for office because they're too old. It's like, no, fucking go out and beat them. Like, it's not impossible. Why aren't you trying? Like, I don't even think, I think we were talking in the Discord, Patreon Discord, thathappens.com /Gobbleflakes to join the Patreon. But they're like, I think Nancy Pelosi basically run unopposed, and she is in a pretty like conservative district, but these people can be beaten. You just have to fucking beat them. I don't know, man. Let's see. The Aquarian is dissatisfied with their lot in life, self-obsession, ignores other advice, concentrating on his own needs, disruptive issues, isolation. Unexpected help will arrive and things will become easier in the coming months. So that maybe sounds like chaos is a ladder shit. Like there might be opportunities with all this crazy stuff, which is like, I don't know, people getting too happy about like Republicans ripping each other apart on this HB1 visa stuff. I think people are like, oh, and then our problems will solve themselves. But at the same time, these cracks do provide some sort of opportunity for us to do, I don't know what, whether to take charge, whether to try and explain to people that their beliefs are fucking stupid. I don't know. But hey, the reverse is being grateful, turning a corner and need to grow up, embrace life. So that's kind of interesting. I definitely see how that could, apply. And that, I guess, is more in the middle of the year, or it could be in the now. I don't know. All of this stuff, it's like, I do want to believe, and this is insane, I'm an insane person, but I do want to believe there's like a real reading here, and I just have to find out what it is. Not just like I'm free associating with random cards that are showing up, But I wonder who is supposed to be, dealing with their petulance and who's supposed to be economically secure and prosperous, like who is it referring to? Hopefully it's us listeners, I'm a listener too. Did you know that? A lot of people don't listen to their own podcasts, but I do. When I'm talking to the listeners, I'm talking to myself. How many cards do you want to burn?
Just one this time.
Oh boy, that's not good. The 7 of Wands is like why do I want to say it's about promotion? How is it about promotion? The 7 of Wands is about infighting, I saw. Be courageous and fight to win. To lose it now would be a sin. A man stands firmly with a rod in his hand, fighting off the 6 other rods rising from the ground. It's about defending one's territory and fighting hard for recognition. He's under pressure. The man is under pressure at the workplace. They might be challenged by others who want to take their job. The client will be unhappy in the work field and must protect their position as others muscle in to do it their way. Could be Hollywood. You will need to study the surrounding cards to see if they bring negative or positive influences. Even if the cards spell redundancy, the person might have a new job on the horizon. Redundancy or promotion, protecting one's territory, a new job soon, teaching and training others. Teaching and training others is interesting. Client is feeling overwhelmed, hitting a brick wall, too many commitments, stress, take time off work, all this stuff. I don't know. And that's towards the end of the year. So, we're in for it. It's not gonna be ending quick. We're gonna be in it for a while. That's 2025, I guess. Now we gotta check out the tools and the means. So, maybe it'll start out okay. And then there'll be kind of like a situation where we really have to reassess. And then at that point, we'll really need to push a lot harder. I guess, yeah, as the gears of fascism start to click together and really start humming along, I think, yeah, things will get more dire and we'll need to figure it out. Or we'll get a new job. All right. Is this ringing any bells for you? Anything?
I mean, it just sort of sounds like our overall political situation, unfortunately. But, let's see where this takes us.
Let's see. And the Page of Swords. And I want to say the Page of Swords is a commendable fellow. I don't know what that means, but I want to say it. Mostly because it's fun. Who doesn't love a commendable fellow? A child who wants to be the boss, gain back the power, all will be lost. A young child stands with his sword pointing to the sky while looking in anticipation of what is coming. Full of energy, determination, can be challenging, curious nature. His enthusiasm will help him do well in life, but he must not be careful not to tread on the heads of others while he ascends to the top. I've had this one a lot. Yeah, I think this to me feels like people on the left can be in a rush to be like, I'm the rightest person and I'm the most correct and aren't you not woke enough? And like, I think, on TikTok, people are going nuts talking about like conflict resolution skills. And that feels like that to me. Like, we have a lot going for us, but we can't just smash into people and go like, well, you're going wrong and you're doing things bad. Like, we really need to figure out how to deal with people. A gentle approach is required to get people to open up. People can be disruptive, so you have to find a balance of love and discipline. I think like that's what it's speaking to me here, is that we really need a better way to deal with these shit. Like, the left is right? That's our whole that's our whole premise. If we weren't right about stuff, then why are we talking? Why are we telling people what they should be doing, right? If we don't believe that this is the actual right way to go. So if it's the actual right way to go, then we really need to figure out how to deliver that to the world and not just yell at people to give us power and that we're doing things correctly, The reverse can be illness, accidents, disruption, not responding to discipline. So yeah, I think all this is pretty interesting. It's trials. It's not, most of the tarot cards are pretty positive, but none of these are like the worst cards in tarot. There's no death. Not that death is that bad. There's no tower. There's no like big sword cards showing up all over the place. It's pretty mild as far as that can go, but it all speaks to weirdness, opportunity, a time to like think about things differently, change our approach, make up ground in uncertain times. It feels like the stakes could be relatively high to everything that's going on, but not the end of the world. I don't know. And I'm just, as always, this is all fake. I'm making it all up. So take with that what you will. But it does feel like there is like a kind of interesting energy to all this stuff. I don't know. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage. How does that make you feel, Kevin?
I mean, not as optimistic as I would have hoped, but
Right.
Not like it's a kick in the teeth going, this is going to be the worst year ever. So I'll take that as a win, I think.
Yeah, like if we were getting the sun and 10 of cups and shit, like it would kind of be all like, yeah, right. Come on. This feels like negative within expectable bounds and feels kind of positive in that lens, It's not like we pulled the pandemic card. I just saw this tweet. It's like the funniest fucking tweet. I think it's by Stefan Heck, but it says like, the old tarot reader flips over a card that depicts someone who looks exactly like me in a hot air balloon colliding with power lines, and then he says, "Is that bad?" And we didn't pull the hot air balloon colliding into the power lines card. We could have. So that's something. Maybe the pandemic won't be till a year or two later. Maybe it'll take a while for the raw milk to evolve. But yeah, let me get my face back. Where is it? Where's the old? There we go. But yeah, Kevin, if you're in the future listening to this, turn off the music. I don't know. But any thoughts? I think we're gonna go to emails, but my resolution is for you to talk more.
No, I mean that's. I love how when you do a tarot reading, it all seems both, exactly what you should be saying, but also very personal about what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 2 for 2 where it's been very well appropriate for what the discussion was we were having. So I'm not sure if that's your skill or if that's just tarot is this all-knowing thing, but one of those things is happening here.
Yeah, well, my mom was psychic or something. Who knows? I can't remember what it was. I've seen some, like, I wish we could figure out what the paranormal stuff is that's real and what's not, but I definitely feel sometimes like information can travel. I don't think tarot cards are necessarily the vector by which information travels beyond our mortal comprehension, like psychic abilities or reading the future and stuff. I don't think that cards necessarily have that magic juice, but I think there's got to be something that can do that, because people like wake up in the middle of the night and they're like, holy shit, someone just died. And then they get a call and the call's like, someone died. It's like, how the fuck Obviously, there's like it's just a coincidence or whatever, but I don't know. That just is so crazy. And that stuff happens. Like that stuff really does happen. And it can be a coincidence. Maybe they're misremembering. There are logical explanations, but it happens to the point of like something fucking is going on here. I don't know what the fuck it is. That's not tarot cards, right? But it's something, right? I don't know. You ever hear anyone who has stories like that?
I do. I think a lot of it is that we only remember the successes and don't remember the failures,
Right.
because there's a lot of, hey, I have a bad feeling about this that turns into nothing, and mispredictions, things like that. And I think that explains a lot of it, but I don't know if that explains all of it. But I'm kind of skeptical about a lot of things.
Yeah. I think that's true. But yeah, we're just picking our successes and stuff. But I think ever picking a success like that still feels like it matters somehow. Although maybe if you crunched all the numbers, it's like, wow, 1 in 5 million of these panned out. That's actually not that statistically relevant, But I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, Andy writes, "Hey Spencer, I've been really enjoying your recap of Eva on Anime Binge Club. Thanks for that. It's great. Do you like Trigun? Would you consider covering Trigun? You should cover Trigun. Trigun. Thanks." I honestly, I don't know that we'll cover Trigun. Maybe eventually, but I really like Trigun. It's good. Maybe we can have you watch a couple episodes of Trigun and talk about your takes on it. Because I like doing that. But going through the whole thing, it's not like it's a long show or anything. It's just there's other stuff that feels more pressing. Maybe that's a resolution is we gotta release these every week or something. We gotta figure it out. I do want to do 2 podcasts and maybe paywall one of them. I don't know if this is the paywall or the not paywall, but I think I want to do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You know anything about Trigun?
Nothing at all, other than I've heard of it.
It's pretty cool. It's about this kind of like, not post-apocalypse, but this kind of like faded future world where everything's kind of almost regressed to Wild West days, but there's also like steampunk-like technology still at play, like that's been scavenged from the past. That's kind of the broad strokes of it. And then it's about a guy with some crazy stuff or whatever. But it's good. It's based on the manga, and the manga is supposed to be a lot different. Callie is a huge fan of Trigun. Anyway, Matt writes, "Hi, Spencer and Kevin. Just heard you read my August email on this week's show. I wanted to say that so much of what I was trying to get at in this email was addressed by the end of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Getting in too deep into it will make it so you can't read this on the air until you finish the run, but wow. I'd been listening along to the pod apps, but I didn't have access to the actual show without Netflix, but once I got access, it took me less than a week to binge, including the 1997 movie, and then I re-listened to all the pod apps. It's officially one of my favorite TV shows, but now the ending is the most profound pieces of art. So specifically the last ep of the show is the most profound piece of art I've encountered in recent memory. That's the thing, man. The end of the series is the last episode of the series is like, to me, so like touching. And like, I don't know, the first time I watched it, I don't think it hit me that hard. But the second time I was like, geez, this is fucking amazing. And it's not like some epic, crazy like fight or anything. Like the last episode is very experimental, let's say. And I don't know, it's just really cool. I really love it. It seems very true that each of us has our own limited POV, and no matter how smart or enlightened we are, or how much we expend our perspective or adopt other people's perspectives, we're still trapped in our own POV. That's the rub. There's nothing we experience that isn't filtered through that limited POV. Everything is projection. And what runs from that is that there's no objectively true perspectives. So we need to take control of our individual perspectives and stop letting anyone else control how we move through and understand the world. And I think that ties into a lot of the book stuff. And eliminating those inherited perspectives changes everything. As within, so without. I can't put it into words in a way anywhere close as beautifully as the way the show does, at least in subtitles. But so I wanted to say thank you for introducing me and likely many others to the show. It was mind-blowing on so many levels. And I think the thesis it delivers, the Cruel Angels thesis,
is extremely relevant to what we're watching go down in modern society. Again, like this book stuff, it like really is what's happening to the fucking world. And that's what the anime is about. Cannot thank you enough. Anime as an art form is incredible. This pod is a conduit to things like Eva is incredible. Please keep doing this podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Well, thanks, Matt. Sorry that it was Thanksgiving. And Kevin, you haven't seen it, so there's not very much. Anyway, let's just do one more. Conan writes, longtime fan, Conan O'Brien, longtime fan. Thank you guys for making my day a little more enjoyable. I appreciate what y'all do, and especially the advertising. Question, guys, have y'all thought about covering anime movies? My first experience with anime was Ghost in the Shell, Princess Mononoke, and Vampire Hunter D. Again, thank y'all for what you do. That happened. I think at some point we want to do that. Maybe that's like, those can be bonus episodes too, because then we won't have to do a whole fucking season of a show. And while I like covering seasons of a show, it seems that if we keep doing the show, we also will want to have like one-offs and things that aren't just complete dives into the podcast, or into the whole season. But yeah, it's so much easier just to do this and just come up with bullshit to talk about for an hour, but like, I'm so much more interested in doing anime as a podcast thing. Like, I think it's so much more fun. But also, Jesus Christ, can't even talk. I think Evangelion is so deep that I can just like talk about it forever and talk over everybody for a whole run of an episode. But I think other shows don't have that depth. So I kind of have to figure out how to do other shows, because I think we can't do them the same way that we've been doing this one, But that's not a reason not to try. We got to figure it out. Folks, give me money. Thathappens.com/goblinflakes, patreon.com/thesixler. We're revamping the Patreon. I always solicit feedback, but let me know if you want me to split the feed. And here's the thing. Everybody says like, oh, just do both. Instead of doing this podcast, talk about some That Happens stuff and then some anime stuff. And the anime podcast will be talking about normal stuff. That will happen. But like, you can't just like, oh, we'll just do both. I don't think that's what you guys think. Like, it has to be its own thing. It just does. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but people have suggested a lot like, oh, just do it all. What if it's just all of it? And it's like, I don't think that is good. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe that's like me just having a mental block and I should just do it that way. But I really just think that like, it's not that we can't talk about normal stuff on the anime podcast. It's just that me talking about bullshit for an hour and doing an anime podcast are just different things. And if you want both, they should be separate. And then you can pick which one you want, as opposed to just making one show into two. I don't know. Whatever. Do you have any thoughts on that or anything?
I agree with you. I think, there probably is enough to split this into two shows and have an anime focused one and then have just a general us talking about whatever kind of thing. I like being able to go into a lot of depth on anime, and I think you nailed it. That's exactly what I would do too.
Yeah. And so now you're saying Kevin's wrong, and you can't be saying Kevin's wrong, folks, because that's my friend. Anyway, we like to end the show the same time as we do. We like to end the show the same time as we do every week. So as always, that's 5:50 p.m. No. Hey kids, I'm the Spleen. Did you know that I got blown up by a bomb? Goodbye.